Hi there. How we all doing? Welcome to Randomania, your home for all the randomizers, and tonight's final round of 16 race between Centroid41 and MisterHomes. I am Gameboy F9. I am joined this evening by Melee Wizard. Good evening.
Good evening.
So we got a really fun race coming in here, and we're going to get started in just a second here. We're going to do a quick rundown. For those who are new here, welcome aboard. Let me just tell you what we're about to do. We're going to have our racers find and defeat the evil Dragon Lord here. And they're going to need to pick up a bunch of items, and they're going to need to pick up the Rainbow Drop. That's going to get them the Charlotte Castle, and that is what's going to help them defeat the Dragon Lord. But while that's happening, they're going to knock out enemies one at a time. They're going to get a bunch of experience. They're going to get money to purchase a bunch of equipment, and then they win the game. And we'll figure out which one of these two is going to win the game first.
Yeah, and it's really all comes down to what enemies will we be seeing early, where the heck all the various towns and caves are in this cartographer's nightmare that Alphagard has become. And
absolutely, yep. I was going to say
your big items, your required items, your Stones of Sunlight, your Silver Harp, the Edric's Token, and we are on our way.
Yes, the competition has begun. We have the Princess of Moonbrook versus the Hero of Maidenhall. And the instructions are coming down. And let's see what we're going to start off with. Oh, a pair of wings. Oh, that's a good start. A whole bunch of money. Let's hope there's a town nearby. And then we have the mandatory magic key. They see repel.
Not the best thing to start with, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But they were able to wing out, and they were able to keep their key. And it looks like oh yeah, everybody's going to go off to the Magic Key store to use all that money to buy some more keys.
And also see what is in the Tangential's basement.
Yeah, absolutely. So both runners, I'm pretty sure they will get 6 keys in order to help them out on their quest. And now we're going to see what is in that basement, as Melee Wizard was saying.
And not to mention kind of mitigate any potential losses. And, oh, man, we got the Jerk Cave right off the bat.
Well, that's not very helpful. I mean, it's information, but meh.
And at least you don't have to... That's one place you don't have to hunt down later. Well, let's see what we got in the treasury. We got more money. Potential... but we got a potential money grind spot if Edric... Ooh! Okay, then.
Wow, Erdrick's sword found straight away, and that means 40 additional attack power, and they can wipe out any monster they want in the beginning of the game.
So we're going to have some early...
Except scorpions, apparently. They have heal more.
But it's still not enough to survive. So we're getting levels fast and very quick here. 3, 6, 3, 6, no spells.
And I like the strategy Centroid did, but didn't deal enough damage to that Warlock, and now he's going to be 32 experience down.
And 4, 21, and 0, 0.
Dang, man. Where's Empty Eye?
Oh, we got another level 4. Let's see. 3, 1, 17, 7, new spell. And it's outside.
Oh, man, and an unfortunate break for Centroid. The Poltergeists have Dragon Lord breath.
And we've already found Charlock.
Okay.
Well,
we don't need return.
And one thing we won't... Well, they probably still use return. So, I'm not sure what cave MisterHomes is in. I'm starting to think... Actually, based off of that, I'm thinking that might be Mountain Cave.
Yeah, you're right. That's Mountain Cave, and
Oh, geez.
Oh, wow.
The Dragon Lord Fire, too. Oh, man. Mr. Holmes got lucky there.
Yeah, you're right. So I'm guessing that's a 25% fire right there. So, woo, boy. Oh, we have more boxes here. Gold and something else. I missed the other box.
It was empty.
Ah,
which
the
might
legendary
have been
empty.
a magic key then, because I think that's the only thing that they're maxed out on. And there's your Armored Knight, but he survives, but not for long.
Okay, a hurt war comes down from the Armored Knight, so you're hoping that the Armored Knight can accept a stop spell later on. Alright, so Centroid is continuing exploration. Well, both of our contenders are continuing exploration. MisterHomes, the 2016 Dragon Warrior Randomizer Tournament Champion, going against Centroid, who is our number 2 seed, and so far so good for the former.
And we got 2 towns, right? Because other than the first one is coal.
Well, I mean, shoot, let's just find Erdrick's armor, just like my race last night.
Yep.
Bam.
And so we did. So we did. Wow. That's something. Here, you only need to buy one thing, and that's not what Mr. Holmes got, but that's still good.
Yeah, dude, man. I mean, these 2 runners are slow. I mean, I did it in 2 minutes in my first seed. These guys did it in 4. I mean, they need to hurry it up.
Answer a question in chat. The sword was in the armory, but they started with a pair of wings, so they were able to leave the throne room without using it.
Level 5 fires for Holmes. There's still some power, 9 power there, along with 16 hit points and magic points.
I saw a stop spell.
Well, there you go. Where's your Armored Knight? Well, first we're gonna have a chat with Caitlin.
And like we've already seen the armor and the flute, so the only other item that could possibly be in the... Oop, we do have... No, we don't have coordinates.
No coordinates, so I'm sure our restreamer will have something fun to say about that. Our restreamer Archfield Monk, or maybe it'll be our tracker Ferran Burgundy. Many thanks to them for their assistance. We see Silver Shield on the bottom right corner of Caitlin.
It's a shop that I sometimes see runners completely forget about. I'm glad that Mr. Holmes went down there to check it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Rogue Scorpions with sleep.
The Scorpion was using on Mr. Holmes, not on you.
Oh, sorry. Great play though by Mr. Holmes, putting down the stop spell. Maybe in the quarterfinals, says the wizard. Oh no, Rogue Scorpion with Dragon Lord 2 Breath, and thought it was that easy.
Yeah, we're seeing it in a couple. We're already seeing the Dragon Lord Breath in a couple different spots already. That's not what you want to see. Well,
alright, so here's Centroid going through the mountain cave now. If he can pick up 2 of these boxes, he will be in shape for the gold grind. Unfortunately, the Spectres have Dragon Lord 2 Breath. My goodness.
I think the Poltergeist do as well, so... I think Centroid got taken out by a Poltergeist with Dragon Lord 2 Breath.
And now Mr. Holmes is going to try to deal with an Armored Knight, and the Armored Knight says, no, I will deal with you. Alright, Centroid going ahead and picking up some money. Maybe trying for a large shield at some point?
Yeah, perhaps.
Alright, level 5 for Centroid. And Mr. Holmes now finding out the news that... Oh,
they got return as well. I thought there was a spell on that list that I didn't see before.
Down goes the Scorpion again. Scorpion dealing a lot of damage, but everybody's like, no, you're going down.
And we got a cave on Mr. Holmes' side. It has not gone into it quite yet.
Yeah, he just wants to fight this Spectre. And the Spectre's like, no.
And sees the error of his ways.
Tillo in chat is calling a level 22 seed.
That would be pretty harsh. Especially given some of the stat gains we've already seen.
Well, the biggest lagging statistic right now is the strength. And you never know. The next level could have 40 strength or something like that. So we're going to find out soon.
Well, despite the early advantage Mr. Holmes had, the XP has definitely evened out between our two runners.
And now Centroid going into Catlin, gonna discover there's the silver shield. It turned out it was in the upper store as well.
I believe Mr. Holmes got the large shield in coal, and so that was a decent level 6 for Mr. Holmes. No new spells, though.
Well, 2 strength.
Yeah, I didn't see the whole thing, but I did see, I think it was like a 7 HP, 9 MP or something like that.
Yeah, I guess that's a little better. Yeah. Well, yeah, 7 MP. No, it was 5 agility and 9 HP. That's what it was.
Ah, okay.
All right. Centroid's going to find out the bad news here in a little bit.
Well, that's not necessarily bad news. At least it's one less thing you have to hunt down. Especially if the coordinates ended up being some ungodly, like 80 north, 90 west, or some dumb thing like that.
There's a monster we can grind. The Wyverns with Hurt.
Oh, yeah, that's something you want to see. Especially when you've got Edric's armor already.
Okay, and Mr. Owens got through a Spectre too, so level 7 fires for our former champion. 1, 2, there's 29.
29 and 15. Wow.
Yeah, yep. That's a lot of health right there. Oh my goodness, the Star Wyverns with Dragon Lord Breath too. My word.
Possible gambler's fallacy. If we're seeing it a lot early, maybe we won't see it late.
Well, this is something Centroid hopes to beat right now, Metal Slime, and unfortunately that didn't happen.
Nah, it's just a matter of the Metal Slime sticking around long enough, and they usually don't.
And now Centroid is going to blow the Fairies Flute. Let's see if he wants to pursue this further. Probably not with 65 strength, though.
Nah. Besides, since you don't have the sleep spell yet, take advantage of the just getting a free run out of the golem.
So over on Mr. Holmes' side, we did see the Druin dismiss Mr. Holmes via regular breath.
And Centroid finds the Stones of Sunlight Cave and finds the wings.
Yeah, that definitely falls under a whammy there. We need to find the Silver Harp, the Stones of Sunlight, and Erdrick's Token. You're going to turn that harp into the Staff of Rain, then you're going to turn those 3 items into the Rainbow Drop, and then you're going to win the game.
And I believe by process of elimination, we know that Edric's Token is going to be in Hogness.
Yes, that is... Oh, no, it could also be in another treasure box. It could be in Garen's grave, for example.
So then what would be in Hogness, then? Would that be a blank? Or could that be a blank?
Yes, that can be a blank as well.
Isn't that reliant on... Isn't that connected to the number of cursed belts that we find in a seed or something? I forget now.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, actually. Oh, maybe if there's a curse belt, then maybe you're right. It's in Hawkson's. That's one aspect of this randomizer that I haven't figured out yet. But while we're talking about whether the token's in Hoxus or not, Mr. Holmes has climbed up into a 350 experience point lead.
And did we ever see what was in that cave up there in the desert? I don't recall.
That I don't recall, actually.
Mr. Holmes went into it. I did not see what it was. I know Centroid found the Stones of Sunlight cave. That was off to the west.
Okay, Mr. Holmes gonna try the Rogue Scorpion again.
Well, as long as it continues to try using sleep, then that's all the better for us.
Metal Scorpions with Hurt More.
Oh,
wow. But it was good enough for level 6 for Centroid. Let's see what happens after that. Mr. Holmes, walking through the swamp to the south, finds a metal slime, finds a wizard. And decided 85 hit points is not quite enough.
Ooh, Mr. Holmes looks like found Swamp South.
DJ Lee's in chat asking if how high the strength can go. It actually maxes out at 155, and part of the reason is if your strength is too high, the Dragon Lord starts running away. So we like to avoid that. Yep.
What happens? I had never seen that before. What exactly happens if Dragon Lord runs away?
You have to be declared a fool again.
Oh, so it's only the first phase that can do that.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so the second one, well, I guess that can't happen, maybe?
Yeah, that's correct, because the Dragon Lord 2 has 140 strength, if I'm not mistaken.
I forget. Is it like... Does your strength have to be double theirs to cause a runaway chance? Is that how that works?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, that's right. So if your strength was 180 against Dragon Lord 1, that would cause him to run. So that's why we limit to 155.
And meanwhile, Mr. Holmes hits level 8. Didn't see any new spells. I didn't see what the strength and agility was.
Yeah, I'm not sure. 0 strength, it turns out. Now, I just noticed it looks like 2 agility, 8 hit points, and a little bit of magic. But oh my goodness, 28 strength at level 8.
Yeah, but at least you have the Edric sword to help mitigate that somewhat.
Yes, very true, as we see Centroid going through the mountain cave. Now, he's going to check out the rest of the boxes here. It looks like a torch. And as soon as he checks out this last box, if he can get past this Armored Knight, we will see if he performs a gold grind. Going to try a stop spell here.
And succeeds and survives a hit, but isn't able to run.
Yeah, it's hard to run away from those Armored Knights. The armor, at that agility, they got about a 1/3 chance, maybe less, to address that. 0, 8, 0, 2, 8, and 7. Thank you, Faran. That was the level 8 gains. And okay, Centroid is now going to go for the gold grind.
Got the gold grind in effect, so probably once he gets the money for the silver shield, maybe a bit extra will probably save just to make sure he survives the trip back down to Cantlin.
So the winner of this race will be taking on Dataplat in the Elite 8, and I say that because Dataplat just missed Lingwar over in chat. As we get level 9, 2 more strength.
19.
Oh boy, Tillo calling level 22. Oh my goodness.
Well, hey, at this rate with the HP, some of the HP games we're seeing, Death Necklace play might actually be in the cards for this if they find it.
Yeah, that's true, but it might not matter if we can get to 80 strength or something like that, so... Alright, so Rogue Scorpion goes down. Centroid gonna pick up the Silver Shield for that extra 20 defense points.
And we'll largely not have a need for money ever again.
Yeah, pretty much. The only thing he's gonna need money for now are magic keys and herbs, and that's about it.
Yeah, maybe if the dragon scale, if they feel like it at this point. Yep, asked a question in chat. The armor was in cold. The sword was in the was in the treasury. So good gear early. That's always nice to see, especially given the strength gains that we've seen so far.
Oh, we thought the Wyvern was really nice, but no, they actually have heal. So Stop Spell does have to come down, and now the Wyvern can be addressed with. Remulder found for MisterHomes. Oh, no, excuse me, for Centroid.
Yes.
Garenham found for MisterHomes.
That's a couple of good towns. For one, that's where the cheapest keys are, plus this one chest that Centroid is about to check, which is empty, unfortunately.
Alright, so MisterHomes was maxing out the herbs pretty much, probably for the, well, no, heal hasn't been learned yet, so... No. Keep that healing going, and there's the scale equipped, so that's an extra 2 defense points, puts him up to 69, so he's going to be damage breaking quite a number of monsters right now.
Alright, so let's see what treasures we have in the back of Garenham. We have the silver harp and the stones of sunlight. Nice.
Oh man, I think you're right that Eric's token is in Hawksnest, but wouldn't that be great to see Eric's token
I knew,
right there?
I knew it. I knew it. Staff of Rain Cave in the back. Just turning in the harp right away. Oh, wow.
Well, that shortens the game a little bit.
Yeah, well, at this point, there's really only 3 places the token could be. It could either be at the search spot in Hawkness, the grave in Garenham, or the tablet cave. Since we haven't seen either of those yet. Right. And it's just a matter of which one do our runners find first, and where does it end up being?
So Centroid is now 700 experience points down. And here we go. Hawksness right here. Bam.
Yeah, with the Poltergeist, which we know is a big threat because of the Dragon Lord 2 breath, but is easily one-shot.
Yeah, you're right. I was going to say MisterHomes is finding everything he needs to find right now.
Now it's just a matter of who is guarding the search spot here.
Yeah,
if he,
he might not get the chance.
He's able to get away.
All right, let's see who it is. It's the... Okay, he pretty much needs an excellent move in order to dispense of this blue dragon. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's gonna have to pass. He'll have to come back a little bit later. Yeah. Let's have a chat with a wyvern then. Oh, this lead is building and building, although he only has 2 more strength than Centroid right now, which is... Oh, that's just so amusing. So looks like both of our runners are continuing to grind here. So we'll mention that on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, I will be facing Tristal in the Elite Eight. That currently is the first race in that round. And then on Wednesday night, late night television, 11:30 p.m. Eastern, NES Cardinelli and Jake Coper will compete to see who makes it to the Final Four.
And seeing something mentioned in chat, note that this is not FF4 Free Enterprise. The Wyverns does not have Mega Nuke. You might be thinking of the Star Wyvern. The regular ones don't.
No, they just have Hurt. Or I suppose you could call it Fireball if you're a Super Famicom fan. All right, here's something that Centroid wants to find: a Wyvern. Yeah, you know what? I haven't seen Dragon Lord in Free Enterprise yet. I think it's supposed to be in there, but I haven't seen it yet.
From what I understand, there's probably, I think, like hundreds, plural, of different things. I don't know if anyone's seen them all.
Yeah, I think it's like 300 or 400. It's a lot.
And we're seeing level 10 for MisterHomes. 2, 2, 11, 2, new spell, Hurt.
And how much strength have we gained since level 5? Like 7? Something like that?
Something like that.
This is crazy. Oh, there's a nice Kaishin no Ichigeki.
Yeah, at least they're gaining, like, at least they're not starved for, like, HP or something.
Yes, that is true. 106 HP already for MisterHomes, so that is Dragon Lord eligible. Race Knights with Dragon Lord Breath. Wow!
As if we hadn't seen that enough already.
Hey, Belay, do you have Dragon Lord Breath? I don't know. Do all of you in chat have Dragon Lord Breath or something? I mean, I don't know, man.
Mine's at 25%. It just hasn't come up yet.
Oh, okay, okay. And Green Dragons with Hurt More. Maybe you all have Hurt More. I mean, I don't know.
At least
this
that
is
can,
just
at least
insane.
At least that can be dealt with Stop Spell. You can't. Unfortunately, you can't just clamp the dragon's mouth shut to prevent the breath.
Unless you're Tulun, but that's a different game. But you're right. He was able to stop spell that Green Dragon and defeat it for a lot of experience. So that's definitely good news for MisterHomes. Well, I see Dataplet breathed fire at me, but and I lost 72 hit points. But fortunately, I've got about 100 million hit points, so I'm good. Level 9 for Centroid.
And both of our runners are probably wondering where the heck all these the strength gains are.
Well, if you're asking me, I can't give you the answer because I don't know. Although the good news is, I mean, we are actually making significant progress throughout this seed. I mean, we are at level 9 already, so it's not that awful.
Yeah, but our best grind spot, the only trap tile we know of so far is the Blue Dragon. We're not sure if that's that good of a grind spot as of yet.
No, we're gonna need about 20 more strength in order to address the Blue Dragon. But once Heal More comes into play, the Blue Dragon can be destroyed pretty much because you're gonna have 10 Heal Mores. The only way you're gonna get stopped is if Blue Dragon's got a healing spell.
And I remember Mr. Holmes did try a stop spell and it didn't work, but I don't know if that really means much right as of yet.
No, I don't think so, because the blue dragon could have up to 9 out of 16 stop spell resistance, something like, or 8 or 9 out of 16 stop spell resistance. That is if the blue dragon has something going on.
Right.
So right now we're still. Actually, these two grind spots have been relatively even. Well, Mr. Holmes has gained a little bit of a further advantage, but it's not that big. So we'll see what happens here.
And Sports mentioned in chat, if we didn't have the sword, yeah, that would have been highly unpleasant considering some of how many of these early enemies we'd seen having a Dragon Lord 2 breath. Grinding would have been a bit of a thing. But we have level 11 for Mr. Holmes. Let's see what we got. Power 1, 2, 5, 1. New spell. We do have heal more though.
Hey, okay, we can work with that. Wow! 6 levels and 8 strength. What the heck is going on here?
Yep,
I mean, are we gonna have enough strength by level 30, which is the highest level in the game?
I would assume so. It's just a matter of is it all just gonna come up all at once? We're gonna get a level that gives you like 40 or some stupid thing like that. And Mr. Holmes making a beeline back to Hawkness to take on the Blue Dragon.
Yeah, absolutely. And
even though they only have enough MP for 3 heal mores at the moment, we'll see if that's enough.
Well, he actually has 4 heal mores. I thought he'll be okay.
I thought heal more. Yeah, heal more costs 8, so that was 4. Did I say 3? I guess that.
Yeah, you said 3.
It's math on Twitch. Why do I bother?
Beta Stream saying this will be a 40-round fight. That's man, that's 3 times the standard boxing fight.
Well, Mr. Holmes only required 2 and finds it, and it was a blank. Oh, ow.
Yeah, so Edric's token is going to be found in a box here. So we're going to see. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, he wants more Blue Dragon. He's like, what? Why don't you have anything? I'm going to fight you again. And I'm going to fight you with a Kaishin no Ichigaki. Shout out to the Dragon Quest Super Famicom community. All right, and now he's gonna address the star. Okay, and Centroid is now exploring a little bit. See if he can make some more progress here.
Yeah, like finding Garenham or Hawkness, perhaps.
The cave, I think, was the bonus cave over there. So.
I don't remember. I didn't really see what path Mr. Holmes took to get to Hawkness.
And Mr. Holmes was the recipient of a really big fireball.
Mm-hmm.
Data Plet saying jerkbird. So many people just know that the wyverns are just jerks.
And looks like Centroid found the tablet cave.
Okay, let's see if he can find Erdrick's token here. Otherwise,
that's really the only thing we're missing as far as essential items.
Okay, let's see. We will find...
There it is.
Erdrick's token. Bam!
Okay. So at this point, it's pretty much we're in between our 2 runners. We are in no mode. We know where everything is. It's just a matter of actually having enough levels to actually accomplish anything with it.
Yes, all Centroid needs to do now is find Garanham.
And
as soon
Mr.
as that
Holmes
happens, he can...
Mr. Holmes found the grave somewhere I didn't see.
Oh, that is kind of unfortunate, just with the knowledge we have. I mean, he thinks this is really good news because there are 5 treasure chests here, but unfortunately... sorry, I'm tired. Gotta go sleep. Brooke's working for me now.
In the meantime, I did not see what the 3 chests on the first floor were. I only noticed where Mr. Holmes was when he was going through the door.
Smashy does have a good point in chat. The Death Necklace could be down here. It hasn't been found yet. And right now, at this point, it is probably going to be in play here.
Oh, yes. What would be, in your opinion, what would be the minimum HP to make use of it? That you would feel comfortable with, I guess.
Well, okay, this is a very unique situation here. I actually would say if you're into the 120s at this point and the strength just continues to not show up, I would put on the Death Necklace right there and gamble for to get your HP up to the 97 you need to win the game. Normally it's 130 to get down to your 97, but in this case, I might start thinking if you get the Death Necklace right now, I would actually consider putting it on at about 120.
And just like the strength gains have just been virtually non-existent, and we've been getting a good bit of HP and MP, so. If it comes down to it, if we're gonna bank on actually still gaining those HP getting some decent HP gains on levels.
There is one requirement that you have to do first, and that is get Erdrick's token before putting on the Death Necklace. You do have to do that first.
Ah, yes. Okay, yeah.
Because as some people in chat have been mentioning, you will get thrown out as soon as you will be thrown out of the castle as soon as you put on a cursed item. So you don't want that.
Yes, especially there are a couple of towns close by, but that's still not a walk you want to make.
Okay, Centroid looking at a blue dragon, running away from that, getting pretty close to that level 11 and that big heal more spell. But Mr. Holmes is 16 points away. We'll see what that level has in store in just a second.
And, ooh, the Fighter's Ring. That's a nice find.
Yeah, 2 very much needed attack power right there.
It'll take every bit of attack power you can get at this point.
But no Death Necklace was found, and I believe that means that the... Oh, you know what? Did we not check out the last box here in the mountain cave?
Nope, neither of our runners have been able to actually get there. They've both run afoul of the AK-47s on the way to getting that last chest.
Well, we're gonna find out level 12 now, and
yep.
Let's see what comes up here.
2440.
What the?
Ouch.
So 7 levels have gone by, and our runners have gained 10 strength.
Oh, wow.
This is even worse than Jack and Card back 2 years ago. If you want to know what I'm talking about there, those two had to go until level 23 in order to win the game and finally get like the 84 strength or 86 strength or whatever to beat the Dragon Lord.
And turns out the 3 chests at the top of Garen's grave was, I believe, nothing, a torch and some money. So really the only thing of worth in there was the Fighter's Ring, which at this point, yeah, I think our runners will take that. Yep,
and there's Mr. Holmes chipping away at the Armored Knight, just 10 or so hit points at a time.
Well, Gilmore enables a lot of things right now. And, oh, speaking of which.
Well, good thing that the spell's been blocked.
Oh, well, okay, that's good. But that's still not something you want to see their Armored Knights have.
And the Armored Knight over on Centroid's side sends him back to the beginning.
Alright, so we're just about at the last chest in Mountain Cave. Let's see what we got. It is the Dragon Scale. Would have been nice if they hadn't already... I'm not sure if Mr. Holmes did buy one.
I do... I'm thinking both of our runners do have the Dragon Scale now, but I'm not 100% sure of that.
Yeah, I want to say... Yeah, I think they... I forget now.
So while all this is going on, now that Healmore has been learned, Mr. Holmes now has climbed up to a 1,600 experience point lead here.
And diving back into Garen's grave.
Yeah, the amazing part about all this is that we're actually only 40 minutes into this race, which is pretty astounding when you think about it. Normally, when you see something like 35 strength at level 12, the clock on the bottom center of your screen says something like an hour and a half already. So, oof.
And one thing mentioned in chat, though, Mr. Holmes could have died out of Mountain Cave and done a gold grind, but opted not to do that.
Lorgon asking in chat if he could buy a second Erdrick sword to dual wield, and I'm afraid that the answer is no. But darn, that'd be a good idea right now.
Yeah, if nothing else, you'd have to drop your shield to do that.
I don't know. I think our runners are okay with that at this point.
Well, the thing is, even if you had a second Edric sword on hand, using Centroid as an example, your range of damage would still be like 3 to 6.
Alright, so Mr. Holmes is going to spend the night, think it over, and we'll see what happens after that. Only 3 herbs, and is actually going to continue play. No, I am not Princess Gwaelin, and Centroid is NPC blocked and is forced to cast Return.
Yeah, don't you hate it when people just get in your way?
Yeah.
And Mr. Holmes finding Ribbledar.
Yeah, he gets to...
Okay, that was just...
Yep, all good for 1 herb. Tillo saying in chat that we only need about 300 heal more. So I don't know. I think our runners are just a bit short of the 2,400 magic points required to defeat the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, a little bit. So what's the experience goal for level 13? I don't have that.
4,175 points. Or is it 25? It is. No, it's 4,175. Oh, it's 4,125. Ron Burgundy knows.
Well, if Mr. Holmes is taking fights from Armored Knights and Blue Dragons, it shouldn't take that long to get that experience. Yeah, assuming you survive. But it looks like the Blue Dragon it's all physical attacks at this point.
Yeah, that pretty much makes it a free fight. Long, albeit long, but And Centroid needs to get to 2175 in a hurry.
Yeah, getting that heal more spell will enable a lot of things right now.
Yeah, that experience gain is about 2,000 now. So, yeah, it's going to get harder and harder the longer this goes.
And with this last blue dragon, that'll be enough for MisterHomes to get to level 13. So we'll see.
Yep, absolutely.
We'll see what that level has in store for us, if anything.
What's your prediction?
I'm gonna go out on a limb. That level's gonna be generous. They're gonna get 4.
Oh, I'll say maybe we'll finally break something and get 8.
Nice thing about having low expectations, it's hard to be disappointed. And Centroid makes it to the end of Garen's grave, gets that fighter's ring, gets that 2 extra attack power, and power 1. Oh God, was that a 1001? Oh
wow! Yes, that was a 10. Wow!
Oh my goodness! Really, the scene really doesn't like us today, does it?
Wow! This is
Hey, that's about as empty of a level as you can get.
So at level 5, I believe our runners had 25 strength. And now, at level 13, MisterHomes has 36 strength.
Mm-hmm. And Centroid heading back into Mountain Cave to I think that was the dragon scale up again, so that's not going to amount to much.
Now, the good news here, though, is that MisterHomes is still knocking out very strong monsters, so that's a good thing. And Centroid is going to be able to dispense to this Wolf Lord, and that's going to help him out. Needs 103 more experience points to get to that very pivotal level 11. But let's keep in mind that MisterHomes still needs to find Erdrick's token, which we know is in Erdrick's cave.
And meanwhile, Centroid needs to find the Stones of Sunlight and the Silver Harp and the Staff of Rain Cave, which is all at Garanham. So each of our runners has just one piece left of the puzzle to find, but they just don't have the strength to actually do a reliable Sharlock dive at this point.
Alright, so there is the... okay, so Centroid tried to go after a Rogue Scorpion, didn't quite work out, but MisterHomes picked up a Star Wyvern. Jerkbird. Alright, 75 more experience to go, and Centroid's going to go to his to a familiar grind spot, and that should do it.
No, not quite. Yeah, I don't remember what direction well, looks like MisterHomes is taking a walk through swamp.
I think so. I'm guessing. I believe that is where Erdrick's token is in the end. I'm not 100% sure of that though. Centroid, gonna spend the night here at Ramulder.
So I remember MisterHomes using exit to get through Swamp Cave before, decided not to do that this time.
Alright, so Mr. Holmes is running into a Demon Knight. The Demon Knight has a 1 in 4 chance of dodging an attack, which is annoying as anything, but in this case, not too bad, and Mr. Holmes dispenses it for 90 points.
And since you've got Edric's armor and large shield, your defense is pretty good. You can take a hit from a Demon Knight pretty well.
Ooh, and the differences are starting to come out here. The Golem showed up on Centroid's side, and he ran away. While the Golem showed up on Mr. Holmes' side, Mr. Holmes is fighting it.
Without using the Fairy Flute, notably. I mean, yes, it's a safer thing, but it's also a bit more time-consuming. So it's either consuming time or consuming MP, and Mr. Holmes is taking the consuming MP route.
Nice and slow and steady over there for Mr. Holmes, while Centroid continues to search. Hey, there's a metal slime. Let's see if Centroid can get the 3 50/50s required to... no.
Nope.
Let's try the green dragon instead. No, runs away. Mr. Holmes finds the bonus cave and the wings.
And another golem. And Mr. Holmes is taking another golem fight.
Yeah, I definitely can't blame him. Again, it's long and arduous, but I mean, you just can't escape 255 experience points.
Yeah, it's just a matter of after like 2 or 3 of these, you're gonna be out of MP, and then what are you gonna do?
Ooh, and unfortunate over in Centroid's side. Died to a werewolf with the Healmore, and I think Healmore was level 11. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That confirm. I just confirmed that the Healmore was learned there. And looks like Mr. Holmes has had enough of golems for now.
Yeah, just breaking out the flute. Yeah, and just running away.
Run away!
At a certain point with this strength that our runners have, just golems are just prohibitive in about 3 or 4 different ways right now.
Okay, I think I like what Centroid's about to do. Gonna check out the boss tile here at the Swamp Cave. It is the Red Dragon. Now we don't... Yeah, we don't know what the Red Dragon is doing yet. Looks like he's just smacking away with the Red Dragon's claws there.
And Mr. Holmes finds the Tablet Cave.
Yeah, and that's going to result in a very big lead for him.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, once Centroid finds Garenham, really the only lead Holmes will have would be an XP.
Which right now is at 2,800 experience points.
Yeah, that is quite a big lead.
Centroid continuing to go after this Red Dragon. Oh no!
What? Didn't quite make it. I guess after trying to run so often and failing, just decided to try to hack his way through and was unsuccessful.
Alright, so Mr. Holmes needs to go back into Tanagel to convert those items into the rainbow drop. As soon as that happens, he can go into Sherlock and see if he can find a death necklace, which at this point I would highly recommend trying to find.
Oh, yeah. Since I think we found everything else already, that's Sherlock's the only place it can be.
Now, there is a bit of a reprieve for our two runners. Hurt More will be learned by level 16 guaranteed. Now, they could learn it at level 14. We don't know yet. But as soon as that Hurt More shows up, that's going to really help out our runners here. Alright, so Centroid continuing to explore, trying to find Garanham. MisterHomes hoping the green dragon doesn't attack, which so far, so good. There's another one.
So what's the XP? I really need to look up the chart for this. What's the what's the XP goal for 14?
Yeah, that one is 5625. So MisterHomes is 262 points away from level 14.
Which is about 2 green dragons worth.
Oh, gonna use herbs to try to stay alive and get this one.
Well, as long as the dragon keeps using spells.
And down goes the green dragon. Oof.
And Centroid finds Garanham. Ordering a big swamp.
Yeah, that is nice. That is a really good news for Centroid right here. So Centroid will pick up the Silver Harp and the Stones of Sunlight, and then we'll go through that wall in the north, go and see that old man, and pick up the Staff of Rain. Unfortunately,
as far as items are concerned, our runners will be even.
Yeah, unfortunately though, Centroid is 3,300 points down. So unfortunately, outside does not work inside a cave like this. You would have to use return for that.
Interesting.
And right now, and I think I've said this before, but I have to say it, but I have to stress this. This is why we're 3,300 points away. Centroid is running away from all the monsters with Heal More. Your MisterHomes is fighting them all.
And Centroid was also using Repel a lot earlier than MisterHomes was.
Alright, so MisterHomes now picking up all the required items, just needs to go to Tanagel to pick up the Rainbow Drop, is electing to go back in Hawksness and pay another visit to the Blue Dragon.
And if nothing else, to be able to have enough Heal Mores on hand, you should be able to take out at least a couple of them. Certainly enough to get to level 14.
Alright. Oh, a Kaishin no Ichigeki for MisterHomes for only 46 damage. Wow.
Yep.
I mean, I guess it's 3 rounds worth, so I suppose it's a good thing.
Level 14, what do we have? Strength 1.
What?
1 0 12 4.
Wow. I think this is like the 5th consecutive time that I've said that.
Yeah. They're gaining HP, so like once they get the Death Necklace, they're putting it on. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, pretty much.
And no Furtcore either, so that definitely will make this grind a bit longer than it would otherwise be.
All right, 7,500 experience points. That is level 15. Centroid is gonna try a Wraith Knight here. All right, Tilla, you mentioned level 22 back in the beginning of this seed. I don't know about level 22 anymore. It might be level 26, 27, the rate we're going.
And Centroid's entering Hawkness as well. I'm not sure if he's just checking the... Has to be just checking the trap tile, because he knows he has everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I want to say they both saw the jerk cave in Sharlock in Tanagil's basement.
Yes, I believe they both did.
So that's probably... I understand them not going there now because it will take like 30 seconds to get, and Sharlock is like right next door, so that process won't take very long. It's just a matter of level grinding at this point.
Hey, there's another Kaishin no Ishigaki for MisterHomes. 1,161 points away from level 15. Maybe we can get out of jail here. Also notice that between the 3 levels here, 11 and 14, our runners have gained only 4 agility.
Oh, 4 agility, yeah.
And 5 magic points. So, like, we have had nothing but terrible level ups for the last, I don't know, forever.
Yeah. But at least their HP and MP they're decent at least.
Knutton over in chat is predicting a 50 strength gain for level 15, which I believe would be a record. and Tillo saying that there's a football game apparently Thursday night football is going on right now, and apparently that game's at halftime, and they're wondering whether that's going to end first or the grinding and the actual seed ends.
Well, given the average football game, second half maybe hour and a half more or less. At this point, that might be a close race.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, MisterHomes going back to Garinham, gonna spend the night at the end, get his magic back, and we will continue the grind.
And I see an NES Monopoly reference in chat. Don't think I didn't see that one.
Don't be coming back now.
Yep. Do.
Oh man, that's the best game, man.
Yeah, I've seen a number of video game versions of Monopoly. I think NES is the best one.
Oh yeah, by far and away. Anyway, MisterHomes is going to head on off to the Park Place and Boardwalk section of Monopoly and tackle some more Blue Dragons.
Yeah, I don't think MisterHomes ever went to check the Trap Tile and Swamp. It's probably a longer trip than going to Hawksness here, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, but the prize would be quite a bit better, in my opinion.
Assuming you can actually take out that Red Dragon.
That's true. We don't know if Red Dragon has healed yet.
Question in chat: would it be worth diving for the Death Necklace and then putting it on immediately? That would be an interesting decision to make.
Yeah, man. That at this point, well, I mean, so we're 3,000 points away from level 16. Level 16's experience requirement is 9750. You will have hurt more by that time.
Not to mention the other like 4 or 5 spells that they're missing at this point.
Yeah. So at that point, probably not. But I mean, obviously, we're probably going to need to get it to finish this game, though.
Yeah, but that extra, that's what, 10 attack power from the Death Necklace? That can mean a lot at this point.
Yeah. The only problem is that you do lose 25% of your hit points, and right now that would put Mr. Holmes at about 95, give or take.
Yeah, but if nothing else, that could make a potential grind moving forward a little bit easier, just from being able to do more damage. Although by the time you get to 16, you'll have hurt more, then you can just, and then beating these blue dragons will be faster just on that alone.
1 hour and 4 minutes. Do not adjust your television strength. Mr. Holmes does indeed have 37 strength as we are concluding the Sweet 16 here tonight. Winner here is going to face Dataplet in the Elite 8. I am Gameboy F9. I am joined by Melee Wizard, Archfield Monk, our restreamer tonight. Many thanks to him. Many thanks also to Ferran Burgundy, our tracker this evening. We pulled him out of commentary to have him do something else. But many thanks to everyone for making this production possible.
And one thing that I've been noticing, at least on Centroid's side, with that silver shield, Centroid's defense is higher than his attack.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. I mean, that happens, but this late in the game?
With Hendrik's sword, too?
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, here's the last blue dragon for Mr. Holmes, and maybe we'll actually get some strength here. I've been saying that for the last 87 levels now.
Yeah, no kidding. Fingers crossed. Or at the very least get hurt more so we can do this, so this process goes by faster.
Yeah, if you get hurt more and we're seeing 1 more strength, it is a lot better. Well, I'll explain that if we get there. Let's see.
Alright. Level 15. Give us something good. 1. 1, 3, 8. No spells.
What? What?
Oh my goodness. This is stupid.
What?
Wow.
I don't know what to say. Well, Mr. Holmes is in Death Necklace territory now.
Yeah, officially.
Will he go to Charlock?
Oh, well, if he was, probably would have gone into the basement to get the rainbow drop as opposed to spending the night in coal.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Or at least would have gone to the basement first.
Well, let's see the next move here.
So here's an amusing thing. Let's see. How many spells are they going to get at level 16? We got Heal, Sleep, Hurt More, Radiant. Is there any that I'm missing offhand?
That sounds right, I think. Speaking of sleep, guess who is asleep?
Not for long, though. But Wizard's resistant.
Chaos Lord asking if the Dragon Lord wins now. I mean, at this point, let's just replace the Dragon Lord with Chaos. I mean, we might as well just go all in here.
I think we'll win by attrition. The Dragon Lord will die of old age. And then we'll just walk down, grab the Orb of Light, and leave.
Oh gosh, if it gets to a mutual forfeit or something like that, I mean,
then
I
I
highly
don't.
doubt that's going to happen. But
Unless it really goes, unless we keep getting one attacks all the way down to like level 22 or something.
well, we'll find out in 1900 points what is going to happen here.
And it's like, at least we found the sword and the armor early. That's making this a lot. This is making this actually feasible. And no matter what cave is Mr. Holmes in right now?
Maybe is going to Swamp Cave. I'm not 100% sure.
Yep,
yeah.
That's the Swamp Trap Tile.
And at this point, I might as well. He's doing similar damage to the red dragon than he is to the blue dragon. So
yeah, the red dragon
doesn't have
doing a bit more damage to him though.
Yeah, but plenty of heal mores to absorb that. So, I definitely think it should be pursued. We'll see if he sticks with that or goes back down for the blue dragon grind.
We'll see which one looks to be more efficient at this point.
Okay, Centroid is now going after... Oh, no. I was going to say going after a golem and then ran away. Another red dragon... Well, a red dragon goes down on Mr. Holmes' side. And as a matter of fact, I think this is the only red dragon we've seen so far. I don't think we found it randomly.
No, we have not.
We're on the Centroid's side. He's dealing with a practice blue dragon. I call it that because the blue dragon is in the trap tile, but it also happens to be wandering in Hawksness right now.
And I think on Mr. Holmes' side, I think the red dragon was trying to audition for a spot on Five Nights at Freddy's or something.
Yeah, no. Oh, who knows? There's the bad news for level 13 for Centroid. Oof.
Yeah, that's just this seed has been rough on all of us, not just the runners, but us watching it.
I am arguably saying now that the blue dragon is better than the red dragon because
it looks like
Mr. Holmes
agrees,
is
yeah,
he's killed 2 of them and has used almost all of his magic points, so out he goes.
And just using outside to make the trip back down easier.
And one blue dragon again gone over on the Centroid side. 3,000 points, or no, I'm sorry, 4,000 points down.
Yeah. But at the time it takes for Mr. Holmes to get back to Hawksness, Centroid might make at least a little bit of a dent in there. Especially if you get an excellent move thrown in.
Yep, absolutely. We'll see what happens as we continue here. Tyrannex asking, wait, where did the strength go? And
it was never here.
Yeah, it was never here. So, I don't know. At this point, I'm just gonna guess 1 strength again. I mean, for level 16, the way we're going.
The funny thing at this point, at this rate, Mr. Holmes might be able to afford that silver shield just straight up.
Yeah, that's a good point. I did not think of that. So,
as long as Holmes doesn't take a death during any of these grinding during the grinding here. Already about halfway to affording it, if that's something Holmes is interested in going after.
Now, I was wondering what he's doing here. Oh, I know what he's gonna do. He is now actually gonna go through the gold grind here, going into the grave of Garanham and picking up some boxes here. I believe that's what's going to happen.
Actually, I think this is Mountain Cave, but same difference.
My bad.
And while that's happening, Centroid's... It's still a good XP lead that Mr. Holmes has, but Centroid's chipping away at it while Mr. Holmes is doing this.
Yeah, this will probably be worth about another 500 points if he can go. You know, this whole episode of grinding here is probably going to be about another maybe 360 points, 2 blue dragons worth. We'll see.
Or actually, he's going back to the. Okay, I thought it was in Mountain Cave. Apparently, it went back into Swamp to take on red dragons again.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, that's an interesting decision. So apparently Mr. Holmes did prefer the red dragon grind to the blue dragons.
Well, we're going to find out here. Right now, I think Centroid's gained a couple hundred points on this, so we'll see. One more blue dragon for Centroid here.
So it's kind of a given that Centroid should be able to take out the blue dragons faster than Mr. Holmes taking out the reds. It's just a matter of, is the difference in XP gains, who will still have the advantage in that?
Absolutely, and Centroid getting lucky there with an excellent move. You have a 1 in 32 chance of that happening.
Which makes it that much more unfortunate when the enemy dodges it.
Yes, there is also a chance for the monster to dodge.
I've seen it way too often.
Alright, so Centroid heading back to Garanham to fill back up.
Yep. Restock on herbs, stay at the inn, and back to Hawkness, no doubt.
I don't know what Mr. Holmes is doing. Okay, going back to Red Dragons. Okay. Now you notice that Centroid is selling the Dragon Scale and the Fighter's Ring, and that's okay. The effects of those two items are maintained throughout the game, even though the hero doesn't equip it anymore. It's weird, but that's how it works in this game.
Well, hey, it's a glitchy thing that benefits us. We're not going to argue over it.
I mean, we can argue it over we want, but we're not going to win. Although, I don't know. I don't think I want to win that argument. So Mr. Holmes is doing something very interesting. He's actually taking advantage of Erdrick's armor, walking to restore hit points so he can take red dragons by using less heal mores. I think that's very interesting. We'll see if it pays off.
Yeah, that is interesting. And in the time Centroid spent buying herbs and such, this room's pretty much got that XP lead back to what it was before.
Well, that helps. An excellent move for 41 damage.
For pretty much, that's practically a minimum roll for that one.
Yeah, that's true. The excellent moves award between half to your current AP. So in Mr. Holmes' case, 40 to 80, and yeah. All right, so here we go with more grinding. So, who do we have left in this tournament right now? We have yours truly. We have Dataplet. We have Jay Cooper. We have NES Cardinelli, Zarnax, Tristal. And we have BTs in there as well. And I think I mentioned Zarnax. Who do you think can go out all the way with these 7 contestants left?
Honestly, I've never been one to make those kinds of predictions. If for nothing else, before the race, we were chatting amongst ourselves, and it was brought up that the seedings really hadn't mattered very much because there have been a lot of quote unquote upsets in the bracket stage already so far. So it's it seems like a pretty evenly matched field. Anyone can win it at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I have noticed is that so far 6 out of the 7 runners in the Elite 8 have all participated in all three Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournaments. So I find that very interesting. Centroid advancing to level 14. MisterHomes about 250 points away. $238 to be exact.
Yeah, that's definitely within range of one more Red Dragon, which is what he's going after.
So this strategy has actually turned out quite well. That the experience lead is still about 3,800.
So the difference in XP gains has pretty much been negligible between the two different grinding methods here.
Now, level 16, you're guaranteed to get hurt more. At that point, I probably would start diving Sharlock, because at that point, you're just going to run into monsters where you can probably throw down some hurt more, so...
Yeah, like just having hurt more in general would... Even if you decide you want to end up grinding to 17, it'll just make the process a lot easier. Granted, you would have to go back to the inn and heal your MP a bit more often, but hey, there's always that give and take between time and resource management and all that stuff. And MisterHomes takes down the Red Dragon, hits level 16. What do we got? 11, 5,
what?
11, what? 16, and learns a boatload of spells.
What? Wow! Actually gaining 11 strength. Whoa!
Well, the thing is, it had a one. It was a strength. It was a 1. It just had another 1 next to it.
Dang! All right, so MisterHomes also.
Attack power is still crap. You're not even guaranteed to do any damage to Dragon Lord 2 at this point.
Yep, you can get between 1/4 and 1/2 attack power on the Dragon Lord. And MisterHomes is electing to continue to grind those red dragons now. However, over in Centroid's side, even with that 49 strength, I might actually start throwing down Hurtmores. Even though there is a 9 in 16 chance of success with those blue dragons. You're just going to get a higher damage per attack with just throwing down Hurtmores all the time.
I thought it was the red dragons that had the hurt resistance. Maybe they both do. I don't remember.
The red dragons have absolute hurt resistance. Only 1 in 16 chance of receiving a hurt.
Well, that explains why MisterHomes isn't trying to get down the red dragons then.
Yeah, and typically you don't go for against the blue dragons, but there are times where you would do that.
And the thing is, probably another good reason why MisterHomes is just not even trying to do a Sharlock dive right now. Even with the Death Necklace, that would put your AP at 101, which would pretty much be 1 damage.
Yeah.
That may be a guaranteed 1 damage, but that's still just 1 damage.
Well, that means we'll need approximately 120 heal mores, give or take, to defeat the Dragon Lord here.
And then the Seed plays the ultimate troll card, and the Dragon Lord has heal or some dumb thing.
Oh my, we are approaching the chaos mode season here. When that oh boy, that's gonna be even crazier because all the monsters have randomized stats, and on top of all the randomized abilities, that's the biggest change there. All right, so
Okay, 101 is still 50-50? Okay, I wasn't sure on that, since that's kind of a niche question to have.
So Mr. Holmes has expanded the lead even further to 4,300 experience points. So this strategy is working out very well for him. Can't really blame Centroid for going after these blue dragons, though. Still a very good idea, especially at the level he's at right now. And the other good thing about it is that I mean, once he does get that 11 power at level 16, he'll have a better be able to dispense of those blue dragons a little bit quicker. So we'll see how this plays out here.
Yeah, if nothing else, at the rate these level ups are going, at least in other stats, at least they'll have plenty of magic and health to go around for the Dragon Lord fight.
Alright, so another blue dragon goes down for Centroid. Another Spectre goes down for Mr. Holmes on the way to the red dragon.
Alright, I'm going to be asking this for every level moving forward. What's the goal for 17?
12,000 experience points, and oh man, attacked on 16 hit points, Centroid did, and paid the price.
And got a bit of a walk back to Hawkness.
So this actually is going to really help out Mr. Holmes as far as this race is concerned.
Now, Centroid does know about the Red Dragon, and it looks like he might be going for it, or maybe not.
Yeah, let's see what he's going to wind up doing here.
Looks like he might be just taking the walk back to Hawkness. If he was going to switch over to doing Red Dragon, he was just in Swamp Cave, and he knows what the trap tile is.
Alright, so we are just 3 red dragons away from level 17, and we'll see how this level up goes. The only thing we're looking for now is strength. Now, some agility would be helpful, though.
Yeah, especially since we're pretty much under the assumption that they're going to be hunting down the Death Necklace wherever it may be, and unless they get some huge strength gain in the near future. And as such, you kind of 97 is the established minimum, but if your defense isn't to a certain point, the physicals can outpace the Dragon Lord fire.
Yep, absolutely. And Lorgon asking, Lorgon mentioning that he ate pork chops today for dinner. I had beef tacos personally. They were very delicious.
And the question of why not fight the golem, we've seen golem fights already this seed. They take forever.
Yeah, they do. It's How much HP do they have? Like 155, something like that. I mean, it could be less, but that's a long time to chip away damage out of those those golems. So yeah,
especially if you're doing fairy flute strats that the golem just won't stay asleep. So this should be the last red dragon before the level up for Mr. Holmes. See if we get something good. Well, we got something good last time, but we kind of need another 2 or 3 something goods for a good Dragon Lord fight right now.
Yep, absolutely. That was done well in defeating the red dragon. Now another advantage is 14 heal mores so far.
12, 2, 3, 2.
Okay, so that is much better. We're getting there. We're getting there, but still got about another 19 strength to go, something like that. Now, here's the interesting thing, though. Mr. Holmes has 144 hit points. 25% of that is 36. So he's going to have 108 hit points for the Dragon Lord. But if he keeps getting more HP, then he might actually start getting double attacks against the Dragon Lord.
Which is definitely something you want to see. Especially when your attack power is kind of lacking. You want all the attacks you can get.
Everybody mentioning that if we can tickle the Dragon Lord now with the 0.75 damage per attack.
Definitely need to get that death necklace to improve it to a whopping 3 to 6.
Oh man, looking forward to that. Well, I mean, at that point, then you're looking at more manageable, what, 30, 40 healmores, something like that. You actually can get 220 magic points eventually.
And Centroid hitting 15 and probably not liking what he's seeing right now. At what point, given the sea like this, at what point would you start looking at the at IRC, looking for that dot done, maybe?
I don't know at this point. I mean, you've got to imagine that when you're seeing these ones all the time coming from our contestants here. By the way, Centroid reached level 15. You got to imagine that your opponent has also been struggling. So you pretty much know that dot done is not coming down at 91 minutes. It's probably going to be coming down closer to 2 hours at this point.
The big thing at this point, who's gonna die? Who's gonna try to hunt down that death necklace first? One would think Mr. Holmes, just from level advantage and being able to actually survive better down there, but at some point, Centroid might just feel like, just saying, screw it, I'm going down there.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll find out as the grind continues, and Mr. Holmes' advantage is now 4,700 experience, give or take.
Yeah, the Red Dragon strategy has been working out well.
All right, so ETAP was thinking that 82 defense breaks blue dragons. Actually, it's 98. So as Tilla mentioned, so still ways to go there, and it's not going to happen by level 17.
Yeah, especially since not only has strength gains been kind of meager, the agility has kind of petered out after, I think they got, was it like a 20-something one early on? It hasn't really been that much since.
And JJ Smith saying, when he's ready to dive Sherlock, he assumes Holmes is going to be done. And Till is saying when he's ready to grind, he thinks Holmes is going to be done. So a lot of respect for Mr. Holmes over in chat. But Centroid did earn a 4-1 record by playing some relatively difficult opponents along the way. So regardless of the result, you have to applaud him for the great effort that has happened here throughout this tournament. All right, so Centroid going back to Garenham. And with these strength gains now, the experience lead is going up very quickly now, as a matter of fact.
Oh yeah, the rich get richer in this case.
Retro Conman, thank you very much for the sub. Really appreciate it.
And also to Stone Rhino for the bit donation. Thank you for your support of the Randomania network of channels.
Absolutely. And just so you know, while we're still waiting for this grind here, Randomania, we just pay off like our website and our RTMP server that helps us commentate for you all here. And then after that, we do intend to donate the money to charity. And that's because we have so many people volunteering their time for no money at all. We have our runners that are letting us use their content for this restream. So that is why we will ultimately start donating money to charity when we get enough money. So thank you all very much for your contributions.
And we get level 18. What do we have? Power 12, 11, 4, 12. Now there's a level.
All right. Oh, 12 strength. So that's a nice little boost there.
All right. So is that enough for Mr. Holmes to head down into Sherlock? Or is he going to try and go for 19?
73 with all that. What is it? 12. Oh, that's 16 heal mores. 85 agility, so he'll have a good time running away from things. I don't know.
Well, he's not heading back to Swamp. I think we're about to see our first Sherlock dive at about an hour 36.
Yeah, which considering these nasty strength gains throughout this seed here, it's definitely surprising to see 1 hour 36 minutes for the an initial Sherlock dive here.
And Mr. Holmes remembering to head back to Tanagel to get the rainbow drop.
Quickly picking up a key here, because he'll need one to get into the treasury. So, we're now going to play the 25,000 gold piece, well, in this case, Death Necklace Pyramid. So there are 6 boxes at the bottom of Charlotte Castle. They range anywhere from $50 to $300. It also could be also in the vanilla spot that we now like to call the judge's table. So please make your guess as to where the Death Necklace is going to be. And you can also just call out bottom left, bottom right, or the top box, or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever you feel comfortable with.
I'm going to say a top box myself.
You're going for the $300 box. Let's see. I don't know. I'll go with the $100 box this time, the bottom middle.
So, the question that was brought up in chat: once Mr. Holmes finds the Death Necklace, is he just going to go straight to Dragon Lord, or are we possibly looking at another level or two?
Let's see. Yeah, I still need to see level 18 here in the tracker here, so hopefully we'll see that in a second. But let's see, 74, looking at 84. So that's 126 attack power. We divide that by, we subtract 100, and then we divide that by 2 to get 13. That is the maximum you can deal with the Dragon Lord. And then you divide by 2 again, round it down, and you get 6 for the minimum. So you're looking at about a 10 average, less than a 10 average, but you have 16 heal mores. You might get, no, you're not going to get lucky with a double attack. As a matter of fact, Dragon Lord can hit you for 50. I have a feeling, yeah, I have a feeling one more level's coming. Oh, there's our level 18, thank you. Actually, it's 125, so actually only 6 to 12, so 9 times... yeah, I think we're gonna... Yeah, Mr. Holmes is definitely doing one more level, and it's working out so far only 1,000 points away.
We're seeing Axe Knights. We hadn't seen them all seed long.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this is like... Sparkover, thank you very much for the subscription and the 2 bears. And Holmes continues to go down and passes on that stone man. Is he going to accept a red dragon? Oh, yes, he is. Here we go.
And notice that he hasn't used any MP yet on this particular dive, so we'll see how long that lasts. Oh, starting to use herbs as well. Okay. So he might just be heading straight. If he's conserving MP like this, might just be heading straight for Dragon Lord after raiding the Sherlock Treasury, assuming that the Death Necklace is there.
Meanwhile, Centroid is just 11 experience points from gaining level 16 and hurt more.
And the first of our significant strength gains that we've been getting over the last, 3 levels.
Yeah, but you're seeing on the left side of your screen why this is going on. But Death Necklace at the $150 spot, so whoever guessed that, congratulations.
Yep, and just getting that extra herb and on his way.
I was going to say, on the left side of your screen, you're seeing why the difference is so large, because Centroid's been running away from all the monsters, and Mr. Holmes did not. throughout the race, and that is why Mr. Holmes' lead is about 6,000. $16,500 experience is level 19.
Which, depending on what the Guardian spot has, it's definitely it shouldn't be that hard if you're aiming for that.
Also, 82 defense power. That is not a bad number. Dragon Lord can still deal 49 damage, but, well...
when you're this close to gaining a level, you might as well. It's not going to hurt you. And it looks like, am I mistaken? Was that an Axe Knight at the Guardian spot?
Yeah, you're right. That's an Axe Knight at the Guardian spot. So, all the Axe Knights were hiding in Sherlock Castle this seed. And there it is, right there. Here we go. Yep. This strategy is starting to pop up starting in this tournament. I've done it a couple times. Put on that death necklace as like when you enter Sherlock. Mr. Holmes is doing it here for this Axe Knight grind. Just one more Axe Knight away for level 19. And as ETAB has mentioned, still haven't spent any MP.
Level 19, power 9, 1, 13, 2.
And 13 hit points is huge. This is virtually a free fight now at 138 attack power, or 134. No, it's still free. 134 attack power. That is 8 to 17. And
bear in mind that 13 health. That's scaled to. That's actually a quarter of what you would. Oh, that's 3/4 of what you normally would have gotten because of the death necklace.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that would have been what, 16 or something like that prior to death necklace usage. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and with 123 hit points, you now are looking at double attacks with the death necklace on. We're gonna see if any of those show up as Mr. Holmes starts with a max roll. Ooh.
It's it's like what's 8 to 17?
Yeah, that's right. And 26 damage has been dealt so far as well, make it 37. As Mr. Holmes still has 12 heal mores to go, still looking to be in very good shape, while Centroid continues to tackle those blue dragons. I would say at this point, Mr. Holmes pretty much has to roll 9s for the remainder of the fight in order to lose this. Still hasn't gotten a double attack quite yet, though. Oh, and whoa! What are you doing casting Hurt More?
I think that might have been a mismenu there. But it didn't cost him, though. It didn't cost him.
Okay, that was interesting.
Either that, if that wasn't a mistake, we might have to ask about that in the interview. If that wasn't a mistake, maybe that was just a shot in the dark, perhaps? Just to see what would happen?
Yeah, well, we're going to find out in just a moment. There's the double attack again for Mr. Holmes, and oof.
But
Okay,
Mega Lord
there it
goes
is.
down.
Yeah, with four.
Plenty of MP left
Yeah.
to spare too.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 heal mores left. Probably could have been 5. So GG to Mr. Holmes, and makes that walk and ends this very bizarre seed in a final time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 16 seconds. Well done. And Centroid's going to continue to play this out for the time being.
Yep, and I see the comment in kind of sums it up. So yeah, that about sums up this scene right there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. So, Mr. Holmes saying, "I only do interviews if there's a number 1 ranked DWR runner in the team, so I think I could do that." Oh man. I don't know if I'm going to be number 1 for long after this race. We'll see. But anyway, I think he'll join us in one moment's time. As Centroid proceeds to defeat a Metal Scorpion here.
Likely heading back to heal up for continue grinding some more.
Beta Struff saying this jet seed had a flock of geese hit the engine, and yeah, that's pretty much describes this seed. I mean, normally you're just like, oh, Erdrick's sword, I'm gonna win in 30 minutes or whatever, and no, yeah, this one took a very long time.
And just because you get the strong weapon doesn't mean you can skip out on the gym.
As we say, good evening to Mr. Holmes. Congratulations, you are into the Elite 8.
Yeah, that's great. But seriously, what the heck was that? Seriously, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's them
Mr.
strength
Holmes?
gains, man, right?
At level 15, I was at around 40 strength. I crit something for 42 with Erdrick's sword. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know. I believe between level 5 and level 15, no, level 6 and level, or was it level 8? I forget. One of those really low numbers. The 2 players gained 13 strength.
Oh my goodness. Thank God for those 3 double-digit gains.
Yeah. Attila was actually predicting in chat of a level 22 seed, and for a while there, it seemed like he was correct.
So I finished at 19, was it?
Yep, you finished at level 19, yes.
Okay. I'm about 88% sure that you could win at level 18. It was really close, and I thought about it for a long time until I decided to grind a level on my way down.
Well, I definitely would say that would pay off. That paid off because, I mean, once you hit level 19 with an 8 to 17 with 16 heal mores, you had double attack chances too. So,
yeah, having 123 max HP after using Death Necklace, yeah, you're pretty good on health at that point.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, the situation at level 18 is we would have had, what was it? We would have been doing 6 to 12 to the Dragon Lord. So that's 9 on average. So 17 attacks, or 18 attacks would give you 162 on average. And we had 16 heal mores. And so I figured, okay, at least we should get like 1 double attack, even though we have like 110 HP. But I couldn't risk it, and that would be such a long fight. To lose it would just be catastrophic.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't have. In this particular race, it wouldn't have hurt you that badly since Centroid had just hit level 17.
Fair enough, but like just from a time perspective, we'd be talking about like a 12-minute time loss or something ridiculous.
So one thing we noticed during the Dragon Lord fight, we saw you throw out a Hurtmore. Was that on purpose?
Oh, absolutely. Had to go for swag.
Yeah, that's what we call classic Mr. Holmes right there.
Yep. From the legend himself. But, like, it's a shame that that low strength thing happened because there was a lot of other cool stuff in this seed and it was kind of just dwarfed out.
Yeah, and like pretty much the biggest difference between you and Centroid was the XP, because you pretty much both of you hit item go mode at pretty much the same time. Though the Centroid found the token first, you found Garenham first, but you ended up finding the other things at more or less the same time.
Yeah, I definitely got an early exploration on that second continent, and it was crazy. It was like a cyclone or a spiral. It just went all the way around. It was kind of cool.
And what really put this out of reach was your choice for grinding, because even as we speak, Centroid is still in Hawkness grinding on blues, and meanwhile you had switched over to the Swamp Cave fighting reds for the last 2 or 3 levels.
Okay, yeah, so I definitely... The first level I fought the Red Dragon, I didn't know it was there in the first place. I had to check. I don't think it was so great at the beginning just because I had to use so much more MP. But definitely the levels after that it was good. I just ended up having to stay there and fight them because I needed to see what was there. If there was something like an Armored Knight, I could stop, spell it, and it would be golden. But, yeah. Definitely at the end, as you get more strength, the Red Dragon becomes better and better and better.
And Centroid did see that Red Dragon, but it's still opting to go after the Blue Dragons instead.
Sure. I don't think it's that much worse, but I guess you guys would have seen that over a longer time period. So, it's tough to say.
It took a little while to manifest itself, but you were definitely... Because even at that point when you were starting the Red Dragon fight, you still had like a 4,000 XP advantage. And it took a little while to manifest itself, but your lead did grow as things were going on. Mostly because you were hitting those double-digit strength gains while Centroid was still at like level 13, 14, getting 1 per.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's really interesting problem. I was trying to explore all around in different mountain areas to try and find a good zone with mid-range enemies, but there always seemed to be like 1 or 2 things that would just get in the way and make it unfeasible.
Yeah.
Did you notice any zones that I could have sat in? Because like there's one with Wolf Lords, and that was pretty good for a while. There's one with Demon Knights, that was okay. The one with Rogue Scorpions, well, they have Dragon Lord Breath. I mean, what didn't this seed?
Yeah, we noticed that. We were seeing like, 4, 5, 6 enemies that had it.
Right around the start, too. That was the crazy thing. Star
that
Wyverns.
It kind of makes you glad that you got the sword and armor as early as you did, because otherwise those enemies would have been tearing you guys apart.
Oh, dear God, I don't even want to think of that.
Yeah, but you were too slow. I got Eric's armor in 2 minutes last night. You got in 4, so you're too slow.
Alright, that's fair. Wait, 4 minutes?
Yeah, you got in 4:30. Yep, 4 minutes, 30 seconds, you got the armor.
Oh, right, because I've been thinking about this a lot. Like, I used the wings, walked all the way around to buy more keys, and then instead of going back, I think it's better to go check the basement first, but that's why it was a little bit slower. Like, at least I knew the mountain cave was there. I like the idea of combining that with your trip for keys. And when you inevitably die, you're just in the throne room and can walk right back anyway.
So Tillo is saying, imagine a Sharlock sword in this seed, like a Sharlock Erdrick sword.
Oh, you better believe I would have been diving super early. Just would have had to.
Yeah.
Not to mention, there was opportunities for a gold grind with the gold in the treasury, so at least getting the flame sword wouldn't have been that bad.
Yeah, and that's a really interesting dynamic too, because at one point we had, I think, like 30 strength and 62 agility. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, can I coordinate a gold grind somehow? But you got the impression right away that it was probably going to be a lot of levels, and it might be something where it's not even needed, or you do so much grinding that you get the money yourself. And had I actually stayed with blue dragons, I definitely would have gotten 15,000 gold. But the red dragons give more experience than gold, so it didn't quite work out. I think I had like 10,000 or 11,000 when I finished.
Yeah, 11,000 sounds about right. Meanwhile, Centroid did end up doing a gold grind and got the silver shield.
Sure, I guess, yeah. I mean, it's not like we were blessed with agility. We had 85, I think. So that's only 82 defense without it.
Yeah, no, you had 86, so it would have been 93 at the end. Yeah.
Was that with the last level or the one before?
At level 19, he had 86 agility.
Okie dokie, Smokey. Oh, man.
And there's the Axe Knights. See, we were wondering where all the Axe Knights were in this seed, and they all happen to be in Sharlock until now.
Yeah, that was actually really good. It made grinding a lot less stressful because the green dragons were annoying because they'd sleep and hurt more. And because I didn't have the silver shield, I wasn't defense breaking anything either, except for wizards. So.
And Centroid just hitting 18, getting the good news.
And now it's Centroid who's thinking a long time about this.
Yeah, I have to think it's possible. I have to think. Let me take a peek. I'm going to run some numbers here, because that's just what I do.
Yeah, Centroid off to the end, and what's he gonna do? 92 defense power, so he is damage breaking more monsters, dealing less, and Dragon Lord will deal less damage.
Any other comments from the peanut gallery?
Yeah, not really, I don't think.
Alright, I'm just gonna try and run these numbers really quick.
And Centroid winging back to Tandagel, getting the rainbow drop, and then just jump over next door to Sharlock.
So how much health do we have at level 18?
For Centroid is at 148.
Okay, 148, so after the death necklace, that's gonna be like 111, I think.
I think, actually, I want to say when you hit level 19 after using death necklace, I think you got like 13 HP from that.
Yeah, so that sounds right. 111-ish. I mean, if I'm 1 or 2 off, that's not a big deal.
And current attack 115, defense 92.
Have 125 attack power with the necklace. I only had 82 defense. And we had 16 heal mores, right?
Yep, that's right. Centroid running into a golem, and the fairy's flute is coming in and attacking it.
I think I did that once as well, too. I decided to give it a shot. If it had woken up right away, I would have just ran, but it stayed asleep pretty much the whole time. And based on
that's just what happened there.
Yeah, based on the numbers I'm crunching, if you got to the bottom with full resources, we're looking at like an 85% chance. So pretty good, but like there's a lot of factors at play.
Well, we see Centroid is taking fights. Did run away from that one Armored Knight, but when Healmore comes out, Armored Knight doesn't really look as good anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't know Armored Knights had Healmore. My goodness.
Yeah, I think I saw that once, but I had fought quite a few before that had happened.
But if Centroid's going to be continuing fighting golems and the like, we might be seeing hit level 19 by the time we get to the bottom 4.
Yeah, there's plenty of stuff to punch there, especially when you're defense breaking.
Yeah, it's especially good if the golem, never mind, golem woke up.
And then there's an excellent move.
Anywho, guys have any other things you want to talk about?
No, I think that is it. You're going to be facing Data Play in the next round. What's your thoughts about that?
Oh man, that's a huge result for him. I'm stoked that he's made it all the way this far. It's going to be fun. Like, every single race gives me the biggest sweat because everyone has gotten so good, so fast, that it's just, there's no easy races, none whatsoever, and I'm going to have to keep practicing to be on my top of my game.
Especially when you find yourself getting seeds like this.
Yeah, those are actually, I kind of like those because it really can be the one who has the most experience who can problem solve it. So rather than like a super jet seed where it's just very straightforward what you need to do, then it becomes a lot more dependent on RNG. So I'm definitely not upset to see that this happened. I'm just flabbergasted because I've never seen anything like that. This is just such a huge outlier.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the only seed I can think of in relation would be what you and I called 2 years ago with Card and Jack. That's the only relations I can think of.
Yeah, but I thought they got stuck like a little bit higher along the way. Like they were at 50 or 60 for a while, but maybe I'm just forgetting.
I think you're right about that, but the other thing was like you couldn't just continuously defeat blue dragons because all the trap tiles were golems, and they had Dragon Lord Breath, and they all had heal more.
That is so dumb. Anyway, guys, thanks for sticking in there with this one. I'm sure it was highly amusing for people who were not racing it.
Yeah, it was just every level up we were saying, is this the one? Is this the one? And well, we got one.
It was the one.
and then you really got the one in that it had another one next to it. And that's when the good things started happening.
For sure. So thanks again for doing this, guys, and I will see you around.
All right, GG.
All right, thanks for dropping by. Good game.
Thanks.
All right, so we're going to stick with this until either the Dragon Lord goes down or Centroid loses here. We'll see in a minute. Going against these golems again.
Yeah, and having the Fairy Flute does make it easier. It's a bit more time consuming, but Centroid already knows that MisterHomes is finished, so it's more of a case of just getting this done at this point.
Yep, and got 900 points to the next level here. No, Another fairy flute coming down. Okay.
And just using it to make a quick escape. And so we only ever saw Mr. Holmes check 2 of the chests in the Sharlock Treasury. One had the death necklace, one had an herb. How many? This question brought up in chat. How many more herbs are in there, especially since Centroid has been using them?
Inquiring minds want to know. All right, so final floor here for Centroid. We'll go to the treasure spots.
So at this point, would the physical move for the Stone Man, would that be doing more or less than the Hurt Mores?
Well, that's dealing 100 damage. I think it'd be doing less on average, I believe. And there's the death necklace.
Just about to. Oh, and fairy water. Another fairy water. Money, and the last one is also money. So it was just the one herb.
Yeah, there's a wizard.
The wizard only attacked for 3 damage. Wow.
Yeah, I've been looking for that all dive long. I've been looking for those werewolves too. Almost there now, just 357 points away.
And if it keeps finding the werewolves and wizards, that it'll be a foregone conclusion. And yep, we're pretty much guaranteed to hit level 19 at this point, since we've got the Axe Knight at the Guardian spot to go through. The Red Dragon's not letting Centroid get away here. And gotta use up a heal more, but should have plenty more for the Dragon Lord fight.
Yep, absolutely.
And after using that one, only has 1 more herb to use.
Yeah, and then runs into the Axe Knight. Shouldn't be much of a problem here. Here's all the strength here. That's 17 hit points actually, so 165. Oof.
Yep. It hasn't put on the death necklace yet, but we presume he will. Unless he's comfortable doing a 6 to 12 range Dragon Lord fight right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Yep, there it is.
There it is. Alright. Time to be declared a fool, and then we're gonna wrap this up, I think.
And to paraphrase a saying from somewhere, life often makes fools of us all. Considering how Mr. Holmes' fight went, Centroid should not have any issues here. Emphasis on
yeah, that's a double attack right there. So that pretty much is good stuff.
Yeah, the extra 10 defense from the Silver Shield definitely helps here. Well, not if the Dragon Lord keeps using fire, but...
Up there it is. That's a guaranteed double attack because Dragon Lord can only deal 48 damage, and yeah, oh boy. Centroid's going to have a ton of MP left, probably more than Mr. Holmes will had. Probably looking at 48 MP at this point, maybe more.
I believe Mr. Holmes had 34 at the end.
Yeah, there's yet another double attack here. Oh, that one didn't quite work out. And no, so it will be 48. Yeah, maybe it'll be 40, but I'm doubting it at this point. Oh yeah, especially with yet another double attack. There it is.
No, you called it.
Good game. Good game to Centroid. Gonna return and we'll finish in a final SRL time of 2 hours, 15 minutes, 34 seconds. The official margin, 27 minutes, 18 seconds.
Yeah, it was pretty much just a difference of, what, 2 or 3 levels at the time?
Yep, that's right. We're gonna see if Centroid wants an interview here. And if not, we'll wrap it up here and find somebody to raid here.
Oh, in the meantime, let's see what else we got going on, at least on the Dragon Warrior side, if not Randomania in general. The dates that I'm seeing right now, I've got my co-commentator Game Boy of 9 against Crystal MTG on October 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we have Ness Cardinality versus Jay Coper on October 3rd at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. Should be a couple nice matches there.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, it's going to be 2 very good matches, and then we have Dataplet and Mr. Holmes. That'll be arranged sometime in the near future, and BTs and Zarnax. We haven't seen a time for that yet, but that'll be coming up before too long. We welcome Centroid to the interview booth. Good game. Oop. Got a little technical difficulty, but we'll get there in a second.
Either that or he's like me and doesn't have push to talk on by default.
No, I was somehow muted for some reason on top of not. The push to talk was working though. But anyway, thank you, and GG to Mr. Holmes.
Yep, and congratulations on sticking this one out, because this was not a nice scene.
Yeah, that was one of those illusion seeds where you're like, oh yeah, this is a jet seed. I'm loving this, and then, man, that grind just went on forever. I don't know. Was there any better option other than just standing there, swinging away at those blue dragons?
Mr. Holmes ended up right around 16 or so. Ended up switching over to Swamp Cave and the Red Dragons. And
did those have anything? Did those have any breath or hurt more or anything?
No, not really.
Yeah, that probably was a good call then. I was toying with that idea myself, but I don't know. I just thought I just wasn't sure what to expect. I mean, figuring out the most efficient place to grind is always a tough thing to do on the fly, I guess, because you're in that safety of what I'm doing works, and it's like, do I want to try something else, have it not work, and sink 3 to 4 minutes into it, you know?
Well, to be fair, you had already seen what the swamp trap tile was. Mr. Holmes had not, and at first was apprehensive at the time, but until when it got to, I think it was, what was it, 16 or something, that first big strength gain that y'all had seen in 2 hours, he pretty much committed himself to the Red Dragon grind at that point.
Nice.
And even at that point, he had already had about roughly 4,000 XP advantage over you at that point, and it was slow, but it did grow over at that point. And pretty much when it came to the Sherlock dive, both of you pretty much did the exact same thing. Went in at 18, grabbed the Death Necklace, level up to 19 on that last Axe Knight, and just took out the Dragon Lord with no issue.
I think it probably could have been done at 18, maybe, but I really was not in the mood to dive a second time after 2 hours. I was just I know it's kind of painful to level up again, but I really think it was worth it.
Well, I mean, you were taking fights along the way. It's not like you were grinding 2,000-3,000 XP just on that one Axe Knight.
Yeah. Those bottom floors are really nice with the wizard and the werewolf and whatnot. And I mean, those golems were mostly friendly, and it was really nice having 140 hit points to just kind of take some hits and not really worry about it.
And that was one thing you had over Mr. Holmes. You did the gold grind for the silver shield. Mr. Holmes never did that. Although by the grinding, he ended up with 11,000 just from the grind alone.
That's true. I peaked towards the end, and I'm like, oh my god, I got 8 or 9,000 gold on my hands. I probably would have had more, but I had a few pretty dumb deaths throughout the seed. I don't think they're gonna matter that much if Mr. Holmes had that big of a lead. So what was the difference in general? Did he just kind of route things better and find stuff better, faster?
Well, I found that when you were running into some of the harder monsters, especially once you picked up heal more, you were running away from them, and Mr. Holmes was fighting them. So I think that was a big reason why the experience league got so large.
That, and I believe you had started using Repel a lot earlier than Mr. Holmes did.
I see. Yeah, I guess some of the little experiences, I don't know, it's sometimes you want to avoid it if you're just going to grind anyway, but I guess it does add up for sure. I guess one thing to say is you're taking 9 swings at a blue dragon and you're effectively earning yourself what, like 50 or 20 or so like experience per swing or something like that. Whereas one Metal Scorpion is like 30 experience per turn, you know? So I don't know. On one hand, it's nice to put the rappel up so you can walk around and not be bothered, but yeah, I don't know. It's just a trade-off, I guess.
And then, meanwhile, for items and such, you guys were largely even. You pretty much hit go mode for items at more or less the same time, though you took different routes. Like, you pretty much found the items in reverse order from each other.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Garen Ham had, like, everything. It kind of sucks that, like, I made the right gamble leaving a chest in the mountain cave and leaving 2 chests in the grave, and then I was like, you know, I'm just gonna dive now and get all 3 of these chests, and I think one of them was the fighter's ring, which was kind of worth it, but
yeah, that one was was the last chest in the grave.
Yeah, I probably could have left those chests though.
Well, and to be fair, Mr. Holmes had issues getting that last chest in Mountain Cave as well. Had to take multiple dives to get it.
Yeah, both of those caves were kind of loaded.
Yeah, both of you kind of had issues, at least in Mountain Cave, getting those last couple chests.
All right, so I believe that is everything we have. Do you have anything else to add before we head on out, Centroid?
Not really, other than the tournament was very enjoyable. You know, I had a lot of fun. I played this game a ton as a child and got owned quite a bit as a child, and I don't think I ever beat it, you know, until I was an adult. But no, it's just fantastic reliving my childhood and finally getting revenge on all these monsters and whatnot. It was it's been fun.
Absolutely, and we hope you'll come back either next year for the next standard tournament, or we'll probably have another Chaos tournament coming up, so maybe you'll join us then.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll definitely do some more of this in the future.
All right, very good. Well, so that will do it for us tonight. So we're going to raid Edgestream, also known as Edgeworth. He is doing, I believe he's doing some Final Fantasy Randomizer practice, doing a shard hunt over there. So we're going to send it to him. So many thanks to all of you for watching this very interesting seed. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Once again, many thanks to Archfield Monk for the restream and Fran Burgundy for the tracking, and for my co-commentator this evening, Melee Wizard. So for all those people, I am Gameboy F9 saying you've been watching Randomania. Have a great night.